I stand here today and I want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your mayor 8 years ago. When I took on this job in 2014, I made some promises. But in my first inaugural address, I broke from the tradition of soaring language and lofty ideas and made those promises directly to my daughter, Taylor, and the children of Rochester. I knew every decision I was about to make as mayor will be held against the test of a mother's love for her child. Parents want what's best for their children, which is why, as I governed, I let my love for Taylor and the children of Rochester be my guide. So as we close this chapter of Rochester's story, our story, I'll finish where I started, with a message to our children. My dearest Taylor, you and the children who stood with me at my inauguration are now 11 years old. You were 3 then. Your world is still small and secure, full of hope and promise. You and your peers are entering a new phase in your lives when decisions become more difficult and outcomes more important. You're learning how to be young adults, and you're doing it by watching. You're watching me, watching other adults, watching your friends, watching social media. Younger children are watching you, watching what you do. But more importantly, they are watching how you treat others. Even as you are learning, you are setting an example for those who are coming behind you. So treat others like you want to be treated. As an adult, you will learn that life isn't always easy. Sometimes the things you hope for, no matter how hard you try, won't always happen. And sometimes you'll be faced with a decision that seems to have no right answer. Those are the moments where you have to remember to walk by faith. When I myself was faced with one of the most difficult decisions in my life, I chose you. I have no regrets. I made that decision knowing that I fulfilled the promise I made 8 years ago. And so many people helped me along the way. And our work speaks for itself. We assembled a team that cared about this city deeply, formed alliances and partnerships with people from all over the country who believed that Rochester's best days were ahead, tapped into Rochester's greatest source of strength, our people, all of our people, threw open the doors of City Hall and made everyone feel welcome. We laughed with them and cried with them, shared in their hopes and dreams and in their grief and pain. We listened to them even when we didn't agree. We showed the world what the people of Rochester are capable of, created new opportunities across the city for all of our people, celebrated our diversity and the richness of the many cultures and traditions that make up our neighborhoods. We demonstrated beyond a doubt that the people of Rochester, regardless of their zip code, regardless of who they love, regardless of their skin color, can succeed. For the first time in over a generation, we brought a world headquarters of a Fortune 500 company to downtown and created an environment where people want to eat, work, and play on our main street. People from outside our city have seen what we accomplished, and they want to be a part of it. Invested more than $872 million to build and renovate more than 4,000 affordable homes, making it possible for more than 9,000 people to escape the cycle of poverty and build generational wealth. Returned our police to the neighborhoods and introduced new measures to improve trust. Created the Person in Crisis Team, the Office of Neighborhood Safety, and the Civilian Interview Panel. We launched Rochester's first era for everyone, because we did more than talk about racial and structural disparities. And in the middle of a pandemic, we looked beyond recovery and charted a path towards equity, not equality, but equity. We created more jobs, and yes, we rocked our riverway. We created better educational opportunities and showed that you don't have to ship children out of their neighborhoods or out of the city for them to get a quality education. I still believe that the best place for our children to learn is where they live and where they play. When we confronted with the turmoil of a pandemic, we fought on all fronts: medical, economic, and social. We protected our circles and harnessed the awesome power of our faith community. Yes, we did this and so much more. We tried to capture as much as we could in a single book, A Lovely Legacy, Belief Made Real. I hope you will read this when you are my age, when you are an adult and you have children of your own, because I think history will show that this is when Rochester made its good better and its better best. When its first woman mayor decided to manage our city for growth instead of decline. But I won't ignore the challenges that we still have. Never been naive, and neither should you. This is a moment of historic change, not just for Rochester, but across the country and the world. And you know, change brings uncertainty and fear. And the pandemic has only made it worse. Many people are afraid. When they're afraid, they become angry and mean. They fight to hold on to what they have instead of working together to create more. They preach a gospel of fear instead of one of acceptance. They look for anything they can to divide instead of unite. You and the children of our city are the beacons of hope that our community must embrace. Taylor, you and I are beginning a new chapter of our life, and I am so grateful. I'm grateful that I can move on to this new chapter with no regrets, no unkept promises. I'm handing over the torch to a man who will become the first mayor of Rochester from our LGBTQ community. And that makes me extremely proud. And he will hand it over to the next mayor in an administration that will have unprecedented amounts of cash to invest in our community because of the fiscal management of this administration. We have set the stage for continued success. So I'll leave you and the children of Rochester with the words of Edgar Guest that were shared with me by my father when I was your age. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you mustn't quit. So don't quit, my dear children of Rochester. Life will not be easy, and there will be challenges ahead. Hold firm to your faith and always believe that better days are ahead. And in your darkest moments, may God continue to bless you and the great city of Rochester.